of a military strike. The president answered with at least one option, tweeting this morning. The United States is considering, in addition to other options, stopping all trade with any country doing business with North Korea. Here to weigh in, Bruce Klinger with the Heritage Foundation, also a North Korea expert of the CIA and DIA Heritage. Bruce, big picture, does that tweet, if true and if followed through on, change the game?
It certainly would have a huge impact, but it would go beyond those that are violating U.S. law or UN resolutions by trading with North Korea on prohibited programs to go against any entity that's even engaging in legal activity. So, if the U.S. were to cut off all trade with China because some Chinese entities are dealing with North Korea, that would have a huge impact on the U.S. economy.
On the other hand, if all of a sudden you said to the Qataris and the Poles and the Saudis and other people who use North Korean slave labor and send back hard cash, a decision to do business with North Korea is a decision not to do business with America. They have a couple of billion in trade with North Korea. They have a couple of $100 billion in trade with the United States. Perhaps they cut the North Koreans' funding off.
Right. During the last really year and a half, the U.S. and South Korea have led an international effort to try to influence banks, businesses, and entire countries from stopping their engagement with North Korea. Sort of a name and shame program, but also pointing out the violations of U.S. law. So by doing
so far,
that,
haven't worked though.
Well, it's been implemented, but there's a lot more we can be doing. We still haven't sanctioned more than just one Chinese bank that the administration did this year. We can impose significant fines on Chinese banks like we did on European banks for money laundering for Iran.
Well, we keep hearing there's this big distance between what we've done so far and running out of options to the point where we would need to use military force. I want to get your thought on this because this is something you've studied. From General Bob Scales and Steve Israel in the Wall Street Journal, this regime has been in power for almost 70 years and understands the value of the long game. Mr. Kim wants to play nuclear blackmail. It's evil, it's dangerous, it's potentially catastrophic, but it isn't unpredictable. And then Will Ripley of CNN, who spends a lot of time inside North Korea, said this morning, what North Korea wants is something that only the United States can give: legitimacy across the globe. You agree with those things? And if so, is there something the United States can do that doesn't endanger our national security, but at the same time takes the top of the pot off the boiling water?
Well, North Korea is largely predictable. We can't predict on a daily basis, but we know what the long-term trend is. They want to be recognized as a nuclear power, contrary to earlier assertions that they did not want nuclear weapons. But the U.S. and others have offered legitimacy. We've offered to recognize them as a country. We've done any number of other things to offer them security assurances in previous negotiations, and that didn't stop them from developing nuclear missiles.
Well, it appears as though they are now undeniably a major nuclear power in terms of their size of their weapons and their ability to deliver them. Bruce, appreciate your insights as always. We'll have you back for sure. Liz?
Well, as you know, we are all keeping an eye on Hurricane Irma. We're going to tell you where she may be headed just after the break. Stay close.